Before we go on to the next award winner, I'd like to take a moment and introduce you to our judges for the Archie League Awards. In the audience, we have Captain Charles Chuck Hogan, was appointed to the Aviation Safety Chairman for the Airline Pilots Association, AOPA International, on August 1st, 2011. He carries an associate's degree. He carries out the association's strategy safety priorities for 51,000 represented pilots at 31 U.S. and Canadian airlines. Captain Hogan is ALPA's representative on the Commercial Air Safety Team CAST and also serves on the Aviation Safety Information Analysis System, ASIS, Executive Board. And he also serves on a number of FAA aviation rulemaking committees. Captain, will you stand, please? Thank you. Our second judge is our very own Dell Wright, who serves as NATCA's Director of Safety and Technology. As many of you know, Dell is also a pilot and was a controller at Charlotte, Atlanta, and then also in the military. Dell, could you take a bow, please? Thanks. And our last judge, Bruce Landsberg, is a former president of the AOPA Foundation and the Air Safety Institute and led activities there for more than 22 years. During his tenure, the organization was nationally recognized with numerous awards for aviation safety leadership and educational program excellence. He also, every year, gives out awards from the Air Safety Institute, and he's going to join me on stage right now.
Well, what you see here, besides being a great honor, is what happens when the judges get somewhat dysfunctional in the back room of deciding who should be the Archie League recipients. And I've had the great honor and privilege to be able to say, well, since we're only allowed one recipient for each region, but there are frequently controllers who have gone above and beyond, they really do deserve some extra recognition, and so the Air Safety Institute is very pleased to be able to honor them. If you would, we have quite a number of people to be recognized, so please hold your applause, and we'll get through all of this, and I think these people are most deserving. For the Central Region, Mark Shad, St. Louis TRACON, in January, because of his calm guidance to a beach bonanza that had lost primary flight instruments in low instrument conditions, resulted in a safe landing. So, Mark, nicely done. Eastern Region, Thomas Prestia, Phil Barbarella will be accepting for him. Thomas is with the Morristown Tower. In July, a Cessna 172 pilot lost situational awareness in twilight VFR conditions in the traffic pattern and became upset and distracted. I frequently had this problem myself. In any event, Thomas was able to reorient the pilot, and everything worked out well. Also from the Eastern Region, Chris Lane with the Norfolk TRACON, Todd Pace will be accepting on his behalf. In December, for over 1 hour, worked a Cessna 172 who had lost his navigational capacity and situational awareness in low night instrument conditions. It doesn't get much worse, but stand by. From the Great Lakes region, Laura Kuhn, who will be represented by Jack Rugg-Roden from Minneapolis Center. In May, a disoriented SR-72 pilot encountered severe icing, and because of Laura's encouragement and guidance, was encouraged to keep on flying and decided to land at an airport. We always find that to be beneficial. Northwest Mountain Region, we are joined by Andy Olson tonight from the Seattle Center. In February, a VFR Cessna 172 encountered moderate icing in instrument conditions. Can you imagine that? Oh well. Southern Region, Dan Benitez and Brandon Rosario and Jim Dossing will be accepting for them. From the Miami Center in March, a Cessna 172 had encountered stormy conditions while returning to the U.S. mainland after a trip to the Bahamas. I've heard it's better in the Bahamas, but the weather in Florida was not particularly good that evening. There was a lot of convective weather, and by the way, he was about to run out of gas. They managed to vector him to a safe landing. Also from the southern region, we are joined by Eddie Alejandro and Rafael Pichardo, who's not with us tonight. Also from Miami Center, a Cessna 172 VFR encountered thunderstorms, not something we find too often in Florida, overflew multiple airports. I'm still wondering about that myself, nearly ran out of fuel, and was finally encouraged to land with coaching. Wow. From the Southwest region, Dave Bricker, Albuquerque Center. Icing, turbulence, and mountainous terrain. And Dave helped him to avoid the terrain, retain control, and minimize the effects of ice. Dave, next time I'm flying in that part of the world, I hope you'll join me. I could use that kind of help. And finally, Western Pacific region, James Hansman, LA Center. In May, a student pilot in a Cessna 182 who had inoperative radios but called on his cell phone had become disoriented in mountainous terrain near restricted airspace and the international border of Mexico, and they managed to get him turned around and back into this country. Ladies and gentlemen, you did a great job. We appreciate all that you do.